welcome everybody to the interview on CROPA Media. My name is Dale Parker, and our guest this afternoon is Mr. Ethan Howard of Lumax Capital. Welcome, Mr. Howard.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're here. We're going to talk about Lumax Capital. That's your business, as I understand it, and just tell us a little bit about Lumax Capital. What does Lumax Capital do?
Well, Lumax Capital is an independent sales organization where we thrive in helping individuals who are looking to secure loans in the commercial, as far as commercial loans, as well as business loans, as also in hard money flips. These are loans that individuals tend to try to secure to be able to venture off in certain business ventures or real estate. And we're here to help secure and find those loans.
Real estate, loans, business, money, hard money, capital. That's what we're talking
That's
about,
right.
ladies and gentlemen. So let's just start by asking the name of your business. It's Lumax Capital. What does that mean? That's not your name, obviously. So what does that mean? Where'd you come up with that idea from?
Well, my son actually, I have a son. He's about 10 years old right now. And, his name is Luciano Howard. Middle name is Maxwell. So I decided to come up with something that was dear to me and securing a legacy. So I decided to shorten the name to Lou. And Ben, as his middle name is Maxwell, so I decided to call it Lumax Capital. And the tag is, hey, we're your wealth greatest warrior.
Wealth greatest warrior. Okay. So that's very good, and that's always very good to know like how people come up with the name of their business. I know a lot of people want to start their own business or have started their own business, and one of the things they get hung up on is what should I name it? And Lumax, I mean, that the max part, capital, that seems to kind of go together with what you're doing there.
Yeah, we want to maximize the opportunities that are out there. And is working together as a team. We're looking to secure those capital opportunities so that you can move forward with your business or real estate.
Okay. So let's just talk about you said that there were 3 areas that Lumax Capital focuses on. So it was commercial, business, and hard money. Let's just talk about commercial. What does that mean? Tell people what that means.
So, I mean, your commercial real estate these are non-residential properties that you're looking to secure to start a business, or you're looking to secure in terms of, properties that are established as a business as a whole. Maybe you're looking to look at a warehouse, or you're looking at, a office park, something that that's non-residential, that basically people are tending to do business to business transactions.
Okay. And so that's the commercial side. So you're looking to do financing around people that are looking for non-residential spaces to do their business, whatever that might be. Is that correct?
That is correct. I mean, you have a lot of moguls out there that have been, successful in securing major office buildings and, renting out the space to potential business. A lot of these commercial loans are hard to come by, but for the most part, it's kind of like getting into that space is really where you want to find yourself having such assets and collateral. Generally, these loans are more so secured loans. And with secured loans, that's basically meaning that you're willing to put something towards, the actual cost of the commercial loan that would secure the loan, so that it's backing what you're actually moving forward with.
Right, because these are pretty large scale projects for the most part, or not. Maybe a lot of them are large scale projects when you're talking about, say, an office park.
Correct.
Commercial space or big spaces, you're talking about maybe a few $1 million worth of investment going into even just purchasing a place like that. So the banks are going to want some kind of security against that. And it's probably
Exactly.
risky because it's a business opportunity.
And these loans generally, can generally be anywhere from a million to $20 million, depending on the project. So that's where, having the assets that say that, hey, I'm financially sound and I'm someone that can really take on the project, based on just my background and my experience, and also the assets that I have at hand. That, if anything should arrive, that, hey, this is something that I can back behind the project in terms of securing the loan.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. So the second one was business loans. So we're talking about loaning money to businesses to start businesses, that kind of thing. Is that correct?
Correct. And there's different ways that you can, obtain a business loan. There's, you can secure business lines of credit. That's where you're basically being have an opportunity to make purchases based on a credit and actually making payments towards that credit line that you receive. You could also look at a business loan from the SBA. That's something that we tend to, be able to attract a lot of people through the SBA. But there's a lot of criteria that comes with securing a loan with an SBA, which is SBA is the Small Business Administration, for
Right.
those who don't know. So those are some of the loans that are out there, and it could be a small business loan or it could be a merchant cash advance. And merchant cash advance loans are pretty much loans where we based it on the fact that you're receiving, you're already in business, and that you're looking to possibly maybe you want to take a venture into launching a new project. You may see something that's a product or service that you want to venture off into, and we base that on your credit purchases that are coming in currently from customers that you already have. So what happens is with that particular piece is that if you're receiving credit card purchases, um, we'll assess what you're receiving. If you're receiving, like, let's say $10,000 a month in credit card purchases, we'll benchmark that to be able to secure a loan based on that value of the credit line that you have with your customers, to be able to secure the cash that you need to be able to venture off into, different aspects or channels of your business.
Yeah, and that's got to be something that's, I guess, relatively new, or at least it's new to me. That I'm familiar with like factoring,
Mhm.
where your invoices, your receivables, and you can get a loan against that, or X percentage of that. So that's kind of basically what it sounds like to me. So for now, we're doing it through the credit card transactions through your merchant account if you have a business. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. That's
Exactly.
an interesting concept. That's
And
an
that's
interesting.
and it really gives you, when the advanced part of it is being able to secure money to be able to move quickly. And then based on the back end, you're basically having the terms of either paying weekly or sometimes monthly or even daily. Just depends on the loan that you're pretty much taking on at the time and what's available to you.
Okay. So we've gone through the commercial, the business, and then just generally tell people about the hard money part of it.
The hard money loans are more so for those investors that are trying to flip. With real estate property, you may see a lot of people who are trying to, buy a property, restore it, and be able to put it back on the market to, secure a higher value to gain profit. But the hard money loans are also for those investors who may have, had some trouble, hard times. Generally, the interest rates are a little bit higher than normal, in securing those particular loans. But it comes down to being able to have a certain cash flow, your credit score, things along those lines.
So is all these are going to depend on your credit worthiness, your credit score,
Absolutely.
uh, and obviously collateral.
Collateral, cash flow, those three things, like we like to call the three C's. Those are the things that we will evaluate. Now,
Mhm.
just because it's something that you're not strong, you're strong in one area, but you may not be as strong in the other. but there are numerous loans that we try to secure and kind of really research the landscape to be able to determine which loan would work best for you. And it gives people a little bit more of a security blanket to not be, shy away from being able to move after a particular property and so forth. So those who aren't strong and have a strong credit score will have a more of a chance of being able to secure a hard money loan. But just keeping in mind that being that those things aren't there or are lining up with the criteria, sometimes the interest rates on paying back the loan are a little bit higher.
Right. But this gives somebody an opportunity to actually have the cash up front to do whatever they need to do to grow their business.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
So, and what were the three C's?
Cash flow, collateral, and credit worthiness.
Those are the three things that now, so we're talking about cash flow. That's the amount of money you're bringing in versus what you're spending out.
Exactly.
Right.
You just
So
want to
you
be able to show that you have the liquid cash validity to be able to secure, something of what you're trying to achieve. One of the ratios we look at is like a loan to value, and basically, if in many cases you'll see a loan to value ratio of, let's just say, 80%. So if you're looking at a property that's 100,000, you should be with a loan to value ratio of 80%. You more than likely will be able to secure 80,000 for that particular loan.
if it's $100,000 property and the LTV, the loan to value, is at 80%, so the financing could be up to that 80%, and
Exactly.
then the borrower would be responsible for the other 20%. Is that how?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Okay. So we have our cash flow. People understand what our cash flow is. So and then the collateral. What is collateral? What is it? And like an example of collateral. So give people a tangible idea of what we mean when we talk about collateral.
Most instances is, owning land. You may have some real estate that you may have currently, homes that if you're a homeowner. Those are things that can be used as collateral to kind of give you more of a chance of being able to secure a loan in that level.
So if you want to borrow, say, $200,000,
Okay.
and you have your collateral at, say, you've got a house, your house where you live, and it's valued at $200,000.
Right.
And I come to you and I say, this is what I have, not even irrespective of collateral. I mean, not collateral, but cash flow. But I have a $200,000 property and I want a $200,000 loan. Is that something that we could talk about? That's an example of collateral. How would the bank look at that?
Yeah, I mean, it's also just private, and not just banks necessarily. You also have private lenders. You have angel investors as well. But if you're looking at something at a $200,000 value, you have collateral that equate, whether it be in your home or land assets or something that really just kind of gets you a foot in the door. You want to try to be at least, above the $200,000 value of what you're trying to obtain in terms of collateral that you do have in your possession. So generally, I always like to try to say, you need to be at least 30%, of what you're trying to obtain when you're trying to secure a $200,000 loan. So you probably want to have somewhere around, 250,000 to 300,000 in collateral.
Okay. Or you could offset that with cash flow or credit worthiness. Let's jump right to credit worthiness. So what's a good, for people that out in the audience, what's a good starting credit score? I mean, not looking at the other factors, just to get started talking. What's a good starting credit score to be able to talk financing, getting that financing for, if you want to buy and flip a home, if you want to start a business, buy commercial
Right.
real estate. Where would they, so they could know, where would they start?
On a fair end, you want to be somewhere between 620 to 650. On a high end, reaching around 700 as far as your credit score is concerned. Not really having any late payments or anything like that that's reflecting your history as far as making payments on time. You want to make sure that you're definitely aligned with having some line of credit that helps as well. Just seeing the aging process of you being able to establish good credit and being able to maintain it over time. So those things are really important in some aspects. There are some loans that don't require a credit score. It's just really based on the lender that's actually being able to provide the loan and what their criteria is based on. So, not to say if you don't have a great credit score, if you're below, I've seen, some lenders do as low as 600 as a credit score. But anything lower than that, you run into just having to pay a higher interest rate on the loan itself.
Right. So it's not that you can't get a loan. You could get a loan, but you're going to pay for that difference in a higher interest rate.
Exactly.
Usually. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about exactly about Lumax Capital. It's a loan brokerage, right? You're a
Right.
broker. Okay.
Well,
Tell me. Okay.
no, I mean, as far as the brokerage part, we're an independent sales organization. So what we do as far as the loan is concerned is that we go to bat. We go to bat by doing the work that you probably would have to do or may not have time to do, on a day-to-day basis. Making the phone call, scheduling the appointments, gathering the information and all the criteria. And what we help is that we have a panel of lenders that we can reach out to depending on your situation. Some of these lenders advertise, some of them don't. Really, it's just being able to tap into the network and understanding what lenders are available. We do the let work in terms of, making sure you have the correct information, crossing out, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, so to speak, to make sure that you're aligned and be able to secure a loan in a fast way. And when I say fast, and getting approved could be and as far as time could be as little as 2 to 3 days. So that's something that, working with us, it takes away the headache of having to schedule appointments. If you have a 9 to 5, generally these lenders have banking hours, as we like to say. So it may be difficult to get to them. It may be difficult to, find the time to sit down and go through the process. And we kind of take that step out of the equation by being your representative on your behalf and reaching out to those lenders and securing those loans.
Absolutely. So it's really like a personal one-on-one customized fit for each client, because each client's needs and desires are different in some kind of way. So you have
Right,
to really customize it. And so you're working on the on my behalf in this example, on my behalf of wanting to start a business, for example, and I need financing. But I was just thinking, like, all of what I would have to do, just imagine all the finance companies I would have to reach out to uh,
right,
to get responses. So that takes time. I know people, they'll start the process of something like that, like of buying a home, for example. They start in the
right,
process of that, and then because you got to have this paperwork, you got to have this date, you got to have this
right,
time, and they just get overwhelmed by it and say, "Well, I'm gonna put this down for now, and I'll try again in a year or 6 months or something like that." So that's what
right.
one of the real benefits that I see that Lumax Capital offers.
Right. I mean, it's like when you're ready, to go and looking at a loan, it's like shopping for a car. If you're trying to buy that new vehicle, you're going through the situation of going to this dealership, getting this phone call, matching this quote, willing and dealing, and that's where that's what we do for you. So it's more so a one-stop shop. So you're getting more of what the results are versus having to do the tedious task to get the results.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that. That makes everybody's life a little bit easier. And I think it, especially the customized part about it, it's not a one size fits all kind of deal. So you get that special personalized attention exactly around what you need, So
Exactly.
I like that. Um, so what I guess that we just kind of talked about it, but are there any other benefits of people using Lumax Capital? Any other ones that you'd like to maybe discuss?
I mean, in terms of the benefits, is just being able. One benefit I think is just being able to have that relationship, to be able to further understand your situation and getting the value of what's actually available to you. Because there's a lot of missed opportunities when you're doing it by yourself, especially if you're trying to work with this particular bank. A lot of people like to do what they call go direct, which is the traditional way of going to a bank. But there's so many other options in terms of securing a loan. There are a lot of private lenders who provide a pool of opportunity for investment into a business or to commercial real estate. That's something that I think having those relationships is kind of being a middleman, so to speak, but actually being able to leverage the relationships over time to be able to secure the loan that you need that's going to work best for you.
Right, right. So, and when you saying they going direct, going straight to a bank, maybe you bank with a particular bank. So if you go and sit down with them and say, "Hey, I'm looking to buy this property, this commercial property," then you're limiting yourself. As if I can get what you're saying, you're limiting yourself based around the products that they offer, the services that that particular bank offers. When there's a whole variety of different financing situations that might actually work better for you and maybe even save money.
Exactly. And a lot of these banks have a certain standard in terms of who they want to do business with. And what I do is go outside of the box. Now, I also work with banks. I also work with credit unions to help finance, certain situations. But we're more of a broader landscape in terms of who we have relationships with. And those relationships extend nationwide, in terms of being able to find the loan that works best for you. Now, it's also specified where you are in terms of your location and some of the criteria state to state, based on the loan that you're actually trying to obtain.
Right. So everybody has their own sets of laws as it pertains to whatever that financing vehicle is. Uh,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So to get that personalized service like Lumax Capital offers versus a traditional bank, is there a cost difference? Or are there other fees? What are the fees to have somebody like personally looking out for me in this journey of seeking financing versus going to a bank where they have a loan officer or whatever there? Is there any like cost wise, is there an advantage or does it cost a little more for the personalized service?
Well, the fees are not, passed on to the customer. It's basically, we operate in the capacity of being able to provide this on us being able to secure a loan, and we negotiate what fees would be provided based on the lender. And the lender actually covers those costs in terms of my services that I'm providing or rendering to that individual.
Okay, so the your customer doesn't pay in any fees or extra fees to you directly. You've arranged for anybody that you arrange financing for them to actually pay the fee that you would be entitled to.
Right. Because
Okay.
I'm bringing them business. So, being that they're in the position to provide the lending option, I'm providing the pool of option of customers that they probably would not been able to obtain.
Okay, okay. Is there a particular case when an individual should seek out uh, Lumax Capital Services? versus going direct, or in any particular situations that may come to mind why they would seek your services versus, say, a traditional bank that they
Yeah,
already pay?
that's a great question. I think, for the most part, reaching out to Blue Max versus going the traditional route, really, number one, it saves you time. It saves you time and headache and a lengthy process, of trying to discover what's going to work best for you. What we try to do is make sure that we're working closely, to say, hey, I need, certain bank statements in a timely manner, or, can you provide me, the most timely way, your collateral, your assets. Is just really making sure that we are providing a service that cuts down on your time and being able to eliminate the headache and making the multiple phone calls, making multiple visits to a bank, sitting down and having these conversations one by one, where I'm able to hit, 5 or 10 people at one time, and literally have these conversations and a more a blanketed approach to be able to come back with more options, but to provide to you to make a more informed decision.
Right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, that sounds really good. Really good. How would people what draws you to start this business? What draws you to this business? What do you like about it?
The aspect that I like is being able to help the little guy, the small guy, who's really exhausted all their resources, but they really want to move forward with their dream, as I like to say. So being able to help someone secure their dream and being able to actually maintain what they are looking to involve themselves in, and not get discouraged and turn away from it. That's the part that really is rewarding, where we're able to help push that dream along.
That's a really powerful thing and a very good feeling to when you're able to help people, especially when there is something that's pretty tough to do, and maybe people don't think that it's possible for some reason, but then they do forge ahead and make that first step, and to see that actually come to fruition into reality for people.
Yes.
That's a very rewarding feeling for everybody involved, and especially if you're able to help make that happen. So absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like to add, and a big scenario is working with, a startup. You have a concept, it hasn't really been proven, but you, in your heart and heart, that this is something that's going to work. And, when it's dealing with a startup, secure certain funding. Many people go through angel investors, friends and family, to try to get the ball moving. And there are companies out there that are willing to work with startups, as long as they have a solid business plan. A lot of these organizations tend to look at what they call time and business, to really understand if this is something that's going to be vital to society and will actually turn a profit. So startups are a great example of being able to say, hey, work with me to be able to secure the funding you need to pursue your dream.
Right, right, absolutely. I just wanted to, I think that we've covered enough here today. I really want to say thank you to Mr. Ethan Howard of
Thank
Lumax
you.
Capital. Is there, how can people get in touch with you? Tell us all the ways that people can reach out to you. They're going to see this. They're going to say they got somebody, Mr. Ethan Howard of Lumax
Right.
Capital, that's looking out for the little guy. He wants to help my dreams come true. How do people get in touch with you?
You can reach us by email info. That's info at Lou Max Capital.com. You can also reach us at 443-978-1430. You can reach me directly through that line. And you can also visit our website, lumaxcapital.com, and you can fill out the contact us form, and we'll be more than happy to reach out to you to start the conversation.
Absolutely. So you can Send Mr. Howard an email at info@lumax.com, lumaxcapital.com.
Sure.
You can reach out at his phone number that he provided. We'll put that up as well as the email address. And go to the website, lumaxcapital.com. Fill out the contact us form, and they'll be right in touch with you. Hey, I really appreciate you coming on, doing the interview on CROPA Media. We'll have you back. We'll discuss more. We'll give more scenarios as time goes on. We want to really educate the community about the different opportunities that are available to us all. So thank you again for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, CROPA.